All you fascists bound to lose. Woody Guthrie there. You're listening to Mr. Ghost Goes to Town. DJ Crambone here in the house with you. If you are a regular listener to the program, you know that I sometimes have musical guests on, and I've had some great ones on so far. This is really, really exciting for me. I have a musical legend, one of the idols of my youth, if I can say that. Dirk Bradford is here in the studio with me. You probably know him as a punk rocker in the late 90s and early 2000s, kind of transitioned into sort of a folk punk style later on. And in my early days in, high school and stuff, and as a young anti-war activist, he just some really, really inspired me with some of his passionate anti-war songs that were critical of the Bush administration and things like that. And just it's just such a thrill to have him in the studio. And Dirk, thanks for being here.
Well, shucks. Well, thanks for having me, Nick. That was a lot of kind words. Thank you.
Now, I'm sure a lot of folks who are listening know you and are familiar with your music, but why don't you could you let the folks know kind of what your influences are and where you come from musically?
Yeah. Well, my name's Dirk Bradford. I think, as you know, a lot of my influences, they range from everywhere from Woody Guthrie down to The Clash, everything in between. I don't know. I was born just like in the middle of America. My dad was a barber. I grew up around a lot of just like middle class struggles, and I thought folk punk was probably the best way to articulate the struggles of just common regular people. I looked back to Woody Guthrie and the IWW struggles, and that was pretty much who I was and where a lot of my influences came from. Just real glorifying these working class people in the best way that I know how.
And just some fantastic songs. If you don't mind me kind of gushing a little bit, I'm really trying to not sort of fanboy out here, but just really just some extremely passionate songs and just flattered. Really great songwriting. We haven't heard from you in a while, and that's why I'm so thrilled when I heard from. I reached out to your manager, and he got back to me, and this work. I'm so glad that this worked out, and I'm really fascinated to hear what you got. You got a guitar with you?
Yeah, well, it's great to be here. I gotta say, I haven't done a radio gig in a while. I haven't been on the scene, as it were, in a long time. Probably about a good 8 to 10 years. I haven't really been on the scene, and got a lot of new material. Got a lot of stuff I'm excited about. I've been playing a lot of bars, playing a lot of backyards, playing a lot of local events. So I'm excited to be here.
That is so great to have you here. Would you like to play a song for us?
Sure. Yeah, why not? All right. You were just another country boy. Your mama taught you manners that you always employed. To every Dick and Tom. Oh, sorry, I'm gonna have to start again there, Nick. I got a little problem with
got
my
a new
guitar.
song, huh?
Yeah, it's a new one. This might be a little better for the radio. You were just another country boy. Your mama taught you manners that you always employ. To every Dick and Tom and Jane in our hometown. Well, when push came to shove, you did what's right. Always sticking up for them littler guys. You dust the feather fella off and buy 'em a beer. Yeah, but that was then, and you got too tall for licking local bullies and the barroom brawls. Uncle Sam came a-knocking, and you let him in. And next thing all us rednecks know, you're suited up and doggy-tagged and off you go. Bound to keep America free like a patriot. And me and the boys out in the backyard, sitting here chewing, chawing, thinking hard how that red, white, and blue must run through your veins. And they gave you a gun, said these colors don't run. But boy, shucks, howdy, tarnation, country son. Well, freedom sure isn't free, and you're footing the bill. With your truck jacked up, flatbed flipped back, you enlisted like a hero boy, and that was that. We never drink a single beer before saying your name. And that gunfire popping like the 4th of July. You serving your country like the 4th of July. And I'm gonna take care of your wife while you're overseas. Say I'm gonna take care of your wife while you're overseas.
Huh. We're here with Dirk Bradford, who you probably know as a punk musician. I gotta say I'm a little taken aback by
Well, I made a few changes, in my sound over the years. I've evolved a little bit.
I gotta admit I was kind of expecting that song to sort of take an ironic turn or something, but it sounds pretty sincere. Like,
Well, I got to tell you, there's nothing ironic about the real folks in the heartland and the people that I've been spending real quality time with in the last 8 years of my punk musical hiatus.
You have really. Obviously, you don't expect a punk to stay a punk forever, and
Sure,
and
no. You can't. You got to grow.
the
Times change.
I'm sorry. I wasn't quite aware that you had. This is how you've changed your style, and Dirk Bradford. Punk.
Well, all I gotta say is that you have to spend some time with the people down there, and you start to learn. You start to learn a couple things about yourself.
Down where now?
Well, just out in America, down in the heartlands, and I've been all over the place in the last 8 years. I got lots of songs about just people who go and serve overseas, and shoot, that's a lot more than I could ever do. So the only gift I have is writing songs, singing, playing my guitar. So I try to give back to these people. I've gotten to know a few of them over the years.
Well, what was that? I noticed the song was kind of about like a guy serving overseas. It's pretty typical. What was the last line about take care of your wife when he's overseas? What does that mean?
Well, I think of myself as a caregiver, and I try to give back to the community. Even when I was back smashing windows and waving the black flag, I was always at least trying to give back to the food shelters and doing what I could. And the way I see it, these guys are out there every day. They're leaving their families behind. They've got kids. They've got wives. They got a whole ecosystems going on that they're just left unfathered. And so I try to step in and at least just try to fill that hole a little bit.
Okay, Dirk Bradford.
I got plenty of songs here.
Reinvented as a country singer, I suppose. Not what I expected, but do you have another one you want to play for us, maybe?
Sure, yeah. I got a couple here. This one's called "Watch 'Em Well Over."
All right, let's hear it.
Thinking of you, the barren dunes 1,000 cornfields away, and your favorite girl, best friend in the world, waiting here every day. Yeah, I know it's tough, but so are you, and sucks, well, so is she. But I want you to know that I'll be watching well over your girl every day. I'll visit your wife, whose tears and her strife show when she's all alone. You're her big hero, and it's been a year or so since you've been gone. We wait up each night, counting the seconds till you're back from the fray. But I want you to know that I'll be watching well over your girl every day. She looks in my eyes, and we both realize your little Timmy ain't home. I dropped him this morning at a school for the board, and since you're off flying drones, well, she takes my hand, and I understand, 'cause yours is saving the US of A. But I want you to know that I'll be watching well over your girl every day. Sometimes it gets cold, so I hold her real close and whisper he'll be home soon. I stroke her face and say you can't replace him, but what if you had to? Now she's in my room, and we're talking about you and what we think you might say. But I want you to know that I'll be watching well over your girl every day. Yes, I want you to know that I'll be watching well over your girl every day.
Dirk Bradford here in the studio, who I knew as a punk and folk punk musician until literally minutes ago. I gotta ask you about that song. who you said your songs are about real people and patriots, and I mean, I'm a little taken. I have to say, I'm a little taken aback by the kind of sort of the shift in your lyrical content.
Oh, look, Nick, I was like you. I used to look my nose down at these kind of people too, who are just regular American folks.
Making assumptions about me, but
here we are, and you were born on the East Coast, I imagine, right?
I was not, but.
Well, you probably were. And from what I can understand, you've got a certain way of looking at these people that I did. I had the same exact perspective. And once you get to actually spend some time with them, find out they're the real deal, see that they've got real families behind that they're leaving, and they're going out serving duties to keep you and me free. Now, what more can I do but try to glorify them best I can?
But, okay, but in that song, it sounds like you're clearly talking about a single woman, and the first song you said something about watching over a wife, and then just help me out here. It's hard.
I'm failing to understand. So now musicians can't change their style?
Well, it's not about the style so much, but it's just you're talking about that you're singing these patriotic songs, but just the lyrical content seems that the message is a little mixed, I guess is what I'm saying, and it's just hard for me to kind of understand what you're. They sound like love songs. There's nothing wrong with writing love songs, you know.
Well, yeah, they are love songs because I love my country.
But you've mentioned troops, wives, and girlfriends like more than once now. So
listen, let me tell you a little story, okay? Now, when I was out here playing one of these shows, I was playing one of the shows that you probably more familiar with. My reckless days, my depleted uranium days. Back then, I was playing this show down in the heartland, down in the middle of the Shucks Howdy Main Street, USA, and I see this guy right in the middle of my set. He's just got a single fat tear just crawling down his face, just streaming. And I look at him and I think, I got to remember to talk to him at the end of the show. And I do. I find him. I said, boy, what's eating you? And he said, Dirk, it weren't your songs. I couldn't stop thinking about, you singing about the war in Iraq and all the problems over there and how it's, them fault. And I got a brother over there, and he's got a wife, and she's got a kid, and he's got a dad, and that's my brother. So that's a whole situation. I blew my mind. I said, yeah, geez, you got a whole empty hole in there that in his family that needs to be filled, and he ain't feeling it. He's out going to concerts. So I said, why don't you give me your sister-in-law's number? Why don't you write it down? And I took it, and I went. I contacted that family, and boy, I started to communicate with them that just was more meaningful than I could possibly understand. It got me onto the road to where I am right now with the style.
I'm just a little. I mean, again, it's just I've looked up to you as a musician for the longest time, and
thank you.
Obviously, musicians change, that they evolve as artists, and they change. This particular sort of shift in not just musical style but ideology. And look, I wasn't going to say anything, but I've been a big fan of you for years, and I've never heard you. I've heard you interviewed many times, and I've never heard you talk in this voice before.
What are you talking about?
Your accent. I mean, it sounds like extremely put on. And
well, I'm gonna. What happens is people grow up and they evolve, and their voices change and their influence. I've been down in the heartland for about 10 years now.
But you're from New Hampshire.
Well, not everybody is from where they're born. I will say that. And you got a friend, you have somebody who goes to England for a little while, comes back with a little Irish lilt.
But you keep talking about the heartland and the real people and stuff. You haven't mentioned any specific place. Like, where have you been? What have you been like? What
well,
have you been doing?
It's better if I do it through song. I got another one about the young man I was talking about and his sister-in-law. And I think that one actually will maybe bring some light to the situation that you're failing to understand.
Okay, I'm gonna have to have a talk with your manager, who did not inform me of this style change. We're here with Dirk Bradford, reinvented patriotic country singer, I suppose, as you'd call him. Let's hear it. What's all right? Since you're here, let's hear another one, I guess.
I just thought I was here to play songs, Nick. I'm real sorry.
I just just a little taken aback, but since you're here, let's hear it.
All right, well, this one's for the troops, as they all are.
Of course.
Well, back in Alabama such a long time ago, tell you about a young man I used to know. Couldn't knock him over, he was 10 feet high. Kids would come from miles around to watch folks try. Yeah, me and Henry, we always was close, teaching all the city girls to do-side do. Drinking moonshine the 4th of July, but his country called up and he became a GI. Well, Henry packed his bags and kissed his woman goodbye, locked up the truck with a tear in his eye, told his wife, I reckon it's the Afghanistan. Wonder what they'll make about that beer-drinking man. Well, me and Shirley, That's Henry's wife, spending the summer days a catching fireflies, driving his truck and singing his songs. Almost make me say, hope he don't ever come home. Well, I split my jeans fixing up the kitchen with his wife. Turns out me and Hendry got the same pant size. Hope he don't miss him since he's so far away. Shirley thinks I look better in him anyway. Well, don't worry, buddy, we'll sure miss you. Keep the fridge filled up with your favorite brew, then drink 'em with Shirley, 'cause we're all alone. It almost makes me say, hope you don't ever come home. Almost makes me say, hope you don't ever come home.
All right.
Woo.
So
Shucks, I like that one.
that's another patriotic song, but it's your messages are just really kind of confused here because you're saying that you're singing about these patriots, but this is the third song you played now, and it's sort of more about getting with the.
Now hold on a black tar cotton picking minute. You tell me that song wasn't in support of the troops. I don't know what is.
I mean, sort of. I mean, you're saying all the words in a certain order that sort of make it sound like you're doing the dance of the sort of taking the lead of a sort of any sort of patriotic country singer, but just the lyrical content. Okay, so like the chorus of the song. Let me just break that apart. Hope he don't never come home.
All right, now that's like
why would if that's not a pro troop song if you don't want him to come home?
Listen, Nick, if you listen, you got. Let me ask you something. Looks like you got earphones on right now. When's the last time you had your ears cleaned? And I mean proper.
That's neither here nor there.
And I can't see the wax from here, but I would reckon that you have got a growth that is just monumental, and it needs to be properly scrubbed.
Okay,
because
fine.
What I had said was, I hope he don't never come home. And that's how people talk down there in the heartland. They don't use proper grammar. I don't use proper grammar. I'm a reflection of the real America, the real deal. I hope he don't never not come home. I hope he comes home. I hope he don't not come home.
But you're talking about his wife, though. I mean, what is going on there?
Well, that's the hole I'm trying to fill.
Please stop saying that.
Well, these families they're left in shambles when these guys go overseas, and someone's got to take the reins.
That's what the VA is for. I mean, look, I know there's like problems with services and things, but it's not like these
services. These guys. Are you talking about my music?
No, I'm talking about soldiers and the troops. They are properly compensated. I mean, I'm not saying there's not problems or whatever, but it's not like you're acting like the.
Let me ask you something. How many troops do you know active duty right now?
That's not the point. This isn't about me. I'm asking you about your music. You're my
and women are heroes. Go overseas, don't get paid a dime, a red cent in compensation or anything to go out there put their lives on the line.
That's just not true.
Sure it is. They got nothing but the bravery that they're paying them in bravery, and they get pride in return. The least I can do is spend some time with their families, make sure the boys growing up right, learn how to shave.
Okay, man, this is just gross. I mean, you've just like changing your musical style is one thing, but you're just like you don't know what you're talking about. Clearly, you're just like this. You got this phony accent. You're this.
Well, now hang on.
Phony style and
nothing phony over. Those boys go over there. They face absolute hell, and you're telling me that I'm phony. They got people giving them poison sandwiches over there. Little kids giving them poison necklaces.
I don't know what you were talking about at all.
You got the IUDs blowing them up to high heaven. And now I'm trying to do God's work over here, and you're calling me phony.
I mean, okay, it's just maybe if you want to write patriotic songs, you should tone down the stuff about wanting to sleep with the wives of active duty soldiers. It's just really crass and really gross. And I kind of feel the need to apologize to the audience because this is not who I was expecting to have in the studio at all, and this is just
that's such a lefty thing to say.
Well, come on, let's not bring politics into this. This is just
saying. What do you go to apologize for who you are? I don't. I love my country. I love the troops. I love their wives. What's wrong with that?
Dirk Bradford
something wrong with that?
is here. Had a lot of respect for you as a musician. I really did.
Thank you.
I did until just minutes ago when I found out of this your transformation.
Well, look, you sound real disappointed. I got other songs. I got ones that just ain't even about any of this kind of stuff. I got a song right here. Ain't about anybody's wife. Ain't about the troops. Well, it is always about the troops, but this ain't about anything that's bothering you, rustling your feathers.
Okay, let's hear it.
All right, one last one.
Dirk Bradford.
Well, truck hitching, fire pit, and hanging on a tailgate, grilling in the summer heat. I'm hanging with the boys in our pickup trucks. Maybe. Got everybody wrangled up from this big town, all along Main Street. I'm hanging with the boys in our pickup trucks. Maybe I'll find me just a little bit of luck. Gonna find me a military wife with a
Stop!
husband
Stop! Stop! No!
overseas.
No! No! No!
What?
Stop!
What'd I do?
Come on! You just said that song was not about
You didn't
military
even,
wives.
You didn't even let me finish.
Listen. This is. I'm so sorry, folks. This is so crass and so gross. Look, man. You're entitled to change as an artist, but this is just like to hear you go from this anti-war, anti-Bush punk rock to this phony voice. I mean, this is just ridiculous.
Man, look,
you know?
I'm from a lot of folks from New Hampshire talk like this. This is the way I talk. I speak American.
I'm really sorry, folks. Look, man, you gotta go. I'm gonna have to
Well, you
talk
know
to your
what?
manager
I
about this.
can't believe you just cut me off. You know what I would do to somebody who cut me off down in the heartland?
What?
You don't want to know. We'll put it this way: you married?
The heartland? No, I'm not.
Well, if you were, you'd find out.
Okay. Dirk Bradford has been the guest, and listen, this is just really crass and disgusting,
you.
and it's not a compliment.
Well, maybe you need a little bit of crassness in your life. Sure, I got one more song. I'm gonna play it if you don't.
Please
stop.
don't. No more songs. I'm sorry.
Fine,
I'm sorry.
I'm gonna leave. I try to bring a little bit of culture where I go. I try to change up my sound, do something new. Can't do anything right around here.
Well, no. Okay, just
Portland, huh?
yeah, Portland. That's right.
Find me a radio DJ who's open to new ideas and some real good
All
country
right.
music.
Yeah. Good luck to you.
Yeah.
All right. Good.
Portland.
Dirk Bradford is here. I'm really sorry about that, folks. That was just.
Portland, Oregon.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. All right. Good luck to you, sir. I'm really sorry about that, folks. Geez. Looks like he left a CD here. I honestly had no idea that he had changed his style to this degree at all. Just pick up the CD he's got here. Okay, so I'm looking at the CD that he's got, and I'm just looking at the song titles. He's got "Another Man's Fatigues" is a song. "Does He Wear Your Ring in the Fighter Jet?" "P.O. Double Who?" "One Hero Per Household." That is just POWSOL. Sexually Active Duty. Ew. "You're the Only Bombshell I Want to See." These are just the song titles that I'm reading off of this CD, and I'm really sorry that that went down this way. And I will try to do better screening the guests in the future. You're listening to Mr. Ghost Goes to Town, and let's play a little music. Here's the Holy Motor Rounders.